Okay, yes, fellow Nigerians, greetings to you all. I salute you all in the name of our collective struggle. And yeah, my name is Comrade Lamty. We are here, and this is the Comrade Show. Please, if you are joining this broadcast, have to share it. Um, First and foremost, I'd like to start by thanking those who reached out to me. Some people have really been concerned that I have not been coming out very often in recent time. Yes. That's true, and it's because I have a lot of things to meet up with, this period. So I've not really been having much time to do independent broadcasts like this. So because I need to just meet up with a number of things, but definitely we are still, of course, keeping pace with the process. I'm very much involved with what is going on as far as the campaign, is concerned. And like it is no retreat, no surrender. Until Peter the Rock gets to Aso Rock, we are never going to be tired. But I'm inclined to come out this evening to, um, because of some information that, this information has been cooking for quite a while. But tonight, I just really could not stomach it that much. And I thought that, we start talking about these things. If you are there, share this broadcast is very important because if the information I'm going to be giving right now is true, um, it's a proper rape, on democracy. It goes to show that even while proponents of good governance, proponents of better democracy, keep up with their preachings to say that we must get it right. Elections has to be free and fair. Many of us, when we say elections should be free and fair, many of us tend to look at the election day, the outcome. But uh, uh, election being free and fair actually, starts from before even the election day proper and all of that. So, what I want to talk about here, because I just could not stomach it, and many of you may not be aware, Peter Gregory will be coming to Edo State this Friday, the 11th of November, for the presidential campaign rally. If you recall, just about 3 weeks ago or less, if I'm not mistaken, the PDP had their own rally, at the Ogbe Stadium. I mean, the Sambomodia Stadium, in Benin. I mean, it's always been the norm that presidential candidates travel around the country, hold campaigns, talk to the electorate and all of that. But what we are beginning to see with the Peter Obi campaign is like there is what's it called, an arrangement by the establishment to strangulate the Peter Obi campaign. Now, the information reaching me this evening from very strong sources says that the Edo State government is refusing to grant venues for Peter Obi and the Labour Party to hold their rally, the presidential campaign rally in Edo State. And I find this very, very disturbing. I mean, we've heard, information like this, happen around some other states, a couple of other states like that. But that this is happening in Edo State, if it is true, and that is why I said it's been alleged by um, people are called chieftains of the Labour Party, that the Edo State government, they applied for the stadium, to use the stadium. They were denied. They applied to use the University of Benin, a complex. They were denied. They applied to use Garrick Memorial Hall along ground along Ekenwan Road, a very big ground as well. They were denied. They now settled to try to want to use the museum ground. And this evening, again, it's being reported that is meeting with a very strong obstacle of denial. I don't understand why this should be. I mean, there's no way we are going to mention Edo State government without calling out the governor of Edo State. But because it's an allegation right there, so I'm going to try to, pick my words very carefully. But and that's why I said earlier that if this is true, it is honestly very disappointing. Please, everybody should, let's share this broadcast. It's important. Because if this is true, okay, it therefore means that this election, has no semblance of being free and fair. Because every candidate must have equal opportunity, to sell themselves, sell their manifestos to the people of Nigeria. And so if certain people are allowed the freedom to use, the available spaces, to sell themselves and of course talk to their followers and, an electorate and all of that, and some others are being strangulated like this, then there's a huge problem. We cannot afford to wait till the day of election to begin to quantify, to begin to measure, or begin to assess how free and fair the election has been. If it is true that the Labour Party is facing these obstacles, there is no reason under the earth, if this is democracy, why the Edo State government will deny Labour or any other political party at that the use of Edo State Stadium. If it is true, I'm premising this broadcast on if it is true. And I'm making this broadcast because I have, different sources I've spoken to this night. They have verified this information, that they are not being allowed to use the stadium, Edo State's public stadium. They are not being allowed to use Gary Memorial Ground. They're not being allowed to use these facilities that is supposed to be under the control of government, to the extent that even one of the sources even lamented that even Unibank Complex, they are not being allowed. They are denied. All the applications are being denied. I don't think this is healthy. I don't think this is a very strong, one of those very strong indices of election not being free and fair. Because there is no reason why Atiku of PDP will stroll into Edo State and have the Ogbe Stadium to use to campaign, and Peter Obi of the Labour Party will not have the same access and privilege to use the Ugbemudia Stadium. These facilities belong to Edo State people. And so there is no reason under the sun. If a date chosen by Labour Party is a date that the government finds not very convenient, maybe it's clashing with another program and all of that, I think that what ought to be, and I threw that out when I was doing my findings, what ought to be is for the state government to say, okay, these and these dates are free. So these people can actually, adjust if they actually, if they are desperate to use the stadium. But to say that, the information coming out to say that they are not being allowed to use the stadium, they are not being allowed to use the Garrick Memorial Ground, they are not being allowed to use the what's it called, the Ugbo Complex Ground, the Unibank Complex Ground. And even when they have settled to now say, okay, they want to use the museum ground, and that is now being met with denial, honestly, that is huge travesty of justice. That is, I don't know how to qualify that if this is true. Mind you, I'm still saying that if this is true, then we are worried. We have reason to be very worried, very much worried. Not because these efforts or these political shenanigans will reduce the capacity and the strength of support that Peter Obi will get. It is that in this day and age, this kind of, callousness displayed by people that we have entrusted, power in their hands to manage our own facilities, manage our own resources, to not be the ones who are becoming, gods, to deny us. Because at the end of the day, by extension, Peter Obi and Labour Party are not the ones actually being denied access to Edo State facilities, if it is true. The people being denied are Edo State people, and people who are supposed to have freedom of choices, people who are supposed to have freedom of expressions, to choose who they want to support. And if the government is not seeing it like that, then there's a very huge problem that some of us cannot afford to be quiet about. I mean, this rally is going to be on Friday, I'm coming out to say this because I honestly hope that the government and those, in charge of all of these, bureaucratic, whatever it is, should, look at the people of Edo State and, of course, quickly turn around and do the needful. There is no reason why Labour Party and Peter Obi should be denied any of these public facilities belonging to Edo State. Every elected politician in Edo State has what's it called, a time frame. 4 years or 8 years at the most. That is it. You will come and you will go, but the facilities of Edo State remain for the people of Edo State. That is permanent. So people must understand that when they are elected into power, they are elected and hired to do a job to help manage resources and facilities for the people of Edo State and Nigeria, as the case is. So there is no way that this kind of information will be pleasant if it is true. Having confirmed from different sources that I know that they are part of those organizing this matter. I've been with them, all week long, since last week, as a matter of fact, and all of that went, they refuse us this. I'm talking right now because the last part where Labour thought, okay, this one will be an easy go, was the museum ground. And now the information is coming out that one right now is equally facing the same issue of saying, no, if we use them. What is happening? What is happening? So I expect, people in government to play more than share this, but this is very important because all this kind of thing cannot be happening all across the country. You understand what I'm saying? That we have a right to choose. We have a right to choose. As people have rights to choose whether they want to support Bola Ahmed Tinubu or they want to support Atiku Abubakar, Nigerians equally have the right to say we are not supporting either of these. We want to support Peter Gregory Obi, and everything must be made available. That is what makes the election free and fair. Election being free and fair is not the result of what comes out on election day. It's not how the election day is being managed. It is everything holistically leading to election day and even the days after election. So if some people are allowed and some others are not allowed because some human beings are in power and they believe they weigh that power to determine who gets what and who doesn't get what, that is a direct confrontation with the people of Edo State, and some of us cannot afford to be quiet. On Friday is just days away. And if at the end of the day, these allegations turn out to be true, then Edo State people must be ready. This will not just be muga matter. Edo State people must be ready. And I want to use this medium to seriously appeal to Edo State people, particularly the people that have been baptized into the obeism, into the obedient support. Please, let's not despair. Even if na inside garage, now the rally won't take place, Edo State people from Edo North, from Edo Central, let us converge wherever eventually is. Let us converge and give maximum support to Peter Gregory Obi. As a matter of fact, if you were not ready to attend this rally, please, I appeal to you. I have some other information I'm not going to share. You understand what I'm saying now? Okay, because somehow when you are dining with the devil, you dine with a long spoon. You understand? But I can assure all of those state people that the organizers of this rally, right at the very home front in Edo State, they are doing their best to be on top of the situation to ensure that at least this rally becomes a success. Nobody can truncate the labor rally in Edo State. Nobody should even dare to truncate it. And that is what these feelers appear, to be saying, that some human beings sitting right now, because they are being empowered by the people of Edo State, they are the ones right now sitting now to deny Edo State people, what is their right, rightfully theirs. Whatever monies was spent on Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium or Ogbe Stadium, as you want to call it, or the Benin Stadium, it is Edo State people's money. Even if that stadium is turned to Wembley today, becomes like Wembley or like Santiago Bernabeu, it is Edo State people's stadium. If Party A can use it, Party B should have a right to use it. Party C should have a right to use it. Everybody should have a right to use it. And if at the end of the day, by Friday, I'm not just saying this for this thing, because everything I've been saying that if this is true, it is still early days for the government of Edo State and the people in charge of these facilities to do what the needful is. Because if this is true, and we find out by Friday that the obedient rally is disrupted because of these issues of not allowing them access to where they ought to be, I can assure the whole world that Edo State people will not take it lightly. The government of Edo State should be aware of that. Edo State people will not take it lightly at all. At all. At all. At all. As I'm here right now, I am very, very unhappy with information coming out. I've spoken with more than 20 persons tonight. Chieftains of the Labour Party. Some of them are even in a meeting right now, trying to strategize different ways of trying to, mitigate this destruction that the government of Edo State is trying to met out on Labour Party. And what they fail to understand is that you are not punishing Peter Obi. As a matter of fact, you are winning more support for Peter Obi. But the people that you are confronting are the people of Edo State. If this information is true, the Benin man says we must put that clause, because some of the information I'm giving out right now, it is not what I can independently verify. I'm not the one who sent these letters out. I'm not the one who made this request, but this report is calling thick and strong by those who are organizing the rally, the campaign, the presidential campaign rally in Edo State. They are disgruntled, they are unhappy, they are unsettled. Right as we speak right now, they are holding meetings upon meetings to find ways to quickly mitigate this matter, to ensure that this rally becomes a success still. I beg nowadays, for those who are in charge of giving instructions of what to do and what not to do, this is a direct affront on the Edo State people, and particularly those that support Peter Gregory Obi and the Labour Party. Whether you are PDP in Edo State, you are APC in Edo State, you are Labour in Edo State, whoever you support, you are from Edo State, we are all still Edo State people. That must be recognized. And we all have equal rights to the facilities of Edo State. Ogbe Stadium denied. Garrick Memorial Grant denied. Ugbo Complex, Unibet Complex denied. Museum Grant denied. It no work now. It no work. Where on assembly they can use for rally? Where? The rally must hold. It's a constitutional requirement. If they are being denied access to these places that they have made requests for, that already is the beginning of election not being free and fair.
My fellow obedient people, are you ready? The Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi and his running mate Yusuf Datti will be visiting Edo State on the 11th of November 2022. Come, let's welcome and celebrate our very own presidential candidate Peter Obi, the man who has been tested and trusted to make the new Nigeria we all yearn for. Of course, we are tired of successive governments and its hardship on Nigerians. In places where voters fill out the government, votes have a lot of power. If a politician is chosen because of their promises but then backs down, voters can vote them out. If voting rights are threatened, it inhibits people's ability to hold elected officials accountable. Politicians can remain in power and break their promises even if most of their constituents want them gone. This accountability is a huge reason why free and fair elections are so important. Vote wisely, vote credibility, vote Peter Obi and all Labour Party candidates. This message is supported by Dr. Chief Osagi Holo, also known as Ultimate Equal, Director of Contact and Mobilization for Diaspora.
Vote for Labour Party, we love the most.
Well, fellow Nigerians, particularly the obedient supporters across Edo State and beyond, this is information that is out there. We'll verify this information practically on Friday. We'll see what happens to the Labour presidential campaign rally in Edo State. I'm hoping and praying that those in charge of approving what should go back to the drawing board, because the aftermath of this, I can assure, it's not going to be pleasant. It's not going to be pleasant. I can almost assure that. And those state people will be aware. Nigerians will be aware. It will not be pleasant because there's whether we like it or not, there's already some tension brewing in this Edo State. That people are quiet predominantly doesn't really make them stupid. It doesn't make them stupid. Tension have been brewing for quite a while on so many other different fronts. If we can't add this one and join them, let's take it easy. Let's take it easy. Power is transient. Edo State must understand that, and Nigeria must understand that. Anybody who is privileged today, say, the wheel of destiny smiles on you and you now hold power, use it wisely. It's an advice. Because at the end of the day, 4 years, 8 years at most, everybody goes back somewhere. But there are certain things that are permanent. The people will be permanent. In this matter of obedience movement, in this matter of Peter Obi rally, in this matter of obedience support, it's a case of the mob. When the mob moves, the mob moves. When the head moves, the head moves. So people should not. Everybody can protect their own personal interest. So it's not that's their business. But your interest must not truncate the collective will of the people. If millions of those people today come out to say they want to support Bola Ahmed Tinubu, so be it. If millions are coming out to say they want to support Atiku Abubakar, so be it. It is their right to do so. And if millions are coming out to say they want to support Peter Gregory Obi, so be it. It is their right, guaranteed by the Constitution. Nobody should deny that right. And those people, please, if you are there, share this broadcast. And I want to passionately appeal, be it true or not, I beg you now, on the 11th, whether the devil likes it or not, Peter Obi will touch ground in Edo State. Peter Obi will touch ground in Edo State. And right from the airport, where he touches ground, Edo State people, as a matter of fact, my appeal is on Friday the 11th of November should be declared a public holiday in Edo State. Let us go out and show love to Peter Gregory Obi. They are fear, we not fear. This so are seeing, we not seeing. Let us go in our hundreds and millions. Let's go and receive this Nigerian that has come to rekindle hope in Nigeria. Let's go and show them, even if they say that now, that's so it can't be, we will wait until after the rally. And after that time, we will know whether now one person get Edo State or whether now those state people now get Edo State. I am not threatening, but if the information coming out becomes true, practically, we don't go rest, though. We don't go rest. Now, people, Nigerians, I don't want to make this too long, but just to remind us that the rally is going to take place in Edo State on Friday. By the grace of God. Kevin Macaulay, you're asking me whether I will come. It's too close. I know I'll come, but I'll go there on ground for the election time. Don't worry about me, my brother. That I'm not even there, not just bother. You know, my presence on the ground is probably more than a lot of people that are even going to be there. Don't worry. I am not there. I may not be there physically, but I am there. I've always been there anyway. So don't worry. So Nigerians, I just say make I can't spill this information. It's unpalatable. It's unhealthy. It's a denial of constitutional rights of the people. We have heard this in some other states, and that is one of the strategies they want to use. But let's not despair. You understand what I'm saying? Now the Benin man says, so this is exactly what it's going to be. For those who may not understand that, you know, what was planned to be evil for the cock became the cock's good. So at the end of the day, we are keeping very strong pace with the process. We are not going away. We are not running out of steam. As a matter of fact, this one is going to rekindle our steam more than ever before. And those state people, the show must go on, irrespective of whatever it is. But I encourage us, whether you're a market woman, you are a bike rider, if you are suffering in Nigeria, a bag of rice now is approaching 60,000 naira. If you are suffering the wickedness of APC today in Nigeria, if you are suffering the foundation of evil laid by PDP today in Nigeria, I beg, prepare for Friday and come out with everything you've got. Because this matter, if Obi don't win this presidency, this Nigeria, only God I go know what will happen. If we want to save Nigeria, we have to ensure that we use all our energy right now to support Peter Obi to become president. Because this country is done. Is done. $1 is already now chasing 1,000 naira. The country is done. It's finished. And if you are one of those suffering, and you are still there saying Tinubu, saying Atiku Abubakar, you are an enemy of the people. A clear enemy of the people. Because you cannot do the same things in different ways and expect do the same thing the same ways, the same old ways, and expect a different results. Let us change hand. Let us look somewhere else. Let us look at competence. Let us look at capacity. And that is what Peter Obi represents. And that is what they know. Because when Obi become president, all this money when they thief right now, they will plug all of them. That's what we believe is going to happen. There will no longer be free lunch. And that is why they want to ensure. Look at what Dino Melaye did the other day. Somebody called me and said, Obi should not have responded like that. I mean, look, Obi is a human being. As a matter of fact, he don't respond rich. The man is a human being. It's not be God, not human being. People like Dino Melaye who are just mere, comedians become issues like this, national embarrassment and disgrace. Anyway, may I not change the topic. Nigerians, this is information. The information we have is that those state government, they are denying and refusing the Peter Obi campaign. You understand what I'm saying now? To have their rallies, their presidential campaign rally in Edo State, deny the facilities. And we, the people of Edo State, we are strongly opposed to that. We reject it in its entirety. We refuse it if it is true. Even if it is true, today is just Tuesday, right? There is a time to approve the stadium or to approve the Garrick Memorial Ground. If the rally does not take place in those two places that can accommodate people, I mean, where are not making it take place? You are not giving these two grounds. You are not giving the Unity complex. Where are not making they can't do the rally, the presidential campaign. We're fellow Nigerians. Please, if you have not heard, you are from Edo State, may you hear now. This is what they go on. And Mona not quiet. Mona share this broadcast, make them see and let them know that if eventually this rally takes place on Friday and we see and say they actually deny the Obi campaign, all of these things, those people, I leave the rest judgment to you guys. I leave the rest judgment to you guys. But it's a problem. As a problem. Nigerians, greetings to you all. I'll see you when I see you. We are still on the matter. If there's any update, by the grace of God, tomorrow I'll come. I know there are meetings taking place right now, across different parts. I'll still be with them. If there's any new updates, hopefully by tomorrow, I will spill that update. At the moment, some other plans are ongoing, but I cannot talk about those plans. But I'm sure that, by Friday or late on Thursday, everybody will be aware. That is, if it becomes like, okay, there's no going back. Because effort is still being made to make these people reason with reasoning, understand that it is not just about today. There is tomorrow after today. And there's the day after tomorrow, even after tomorrow. And so therefore, people must think not just about now, think about what's going to happen the next day and the days after. Edo State is not owned by anybody, any one person. Edo State belongs to Edo State people. And Edo State people must enjoy the facilities of Edo State because it is their own facilities. Nigerians, greetings to you all. One and all verse. Bye for now.
My fellow obedient people, are you ready? The Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi and his running mate Yusuf Datti will be visiting Edo State on the 11th of November 2022. Come, let's welcome and celebrate our very own presidential candidate Peter Obi, the man who has been tested and trusted to make the new Nigeria we all yearn for. Of course, we are tired of successive governments and its hardship on Nigerians. In places where voters fill out the government, votes have a lot of power. If a politician is chosen because of their promises but then backs down, voters can vote them out. If voting rights are threatened, it inhibits people's ability to hold elected officials accountable. Politicians can remain in power and break their promises even if most of their constituents want them gone. This accountability is a huge reason why free and fair elections are so important. Vote wisely, vote credibility, vote Peter Obi and all Labour Party candidates. This message is supported by Dr. Chief
Comrade Show, Comrade Lante Oriente. This is the Comrade Show.